Keith here for Am I Rich, and today we're going to talk about 3 stocks for March 2018. I'm going to do a little bit different. This is going to be 3 stock picks from 2018, but it's 2019, so they're 3 stock picks from YouTubers, and I'm just going to kind of compare like how they've done. And the reason I'm doing this is I think Michael J did a really interesting video on how there's a trend of people just buying stocks based on YouTubers' picks, such as Jeremy from Financial Education. And this kind of indicates to me that there is a portion of the population that, rightfully or wrongfully, they really want to find somebody on YouTube that is very trustworthy for their stock picks. Now, I totally think people should pick their own stocks, and so that's just something that's out there, but I hope this video kind of at least is entertaining or interesting, and at least helps people kind of see, you know, the differences between YouTubers. Now, I also want to put a kind of a disclaimer. This is really just a snapshot of their picks from March 2018 to now, and in no way, like most of them, they either say that they were just actually watching the stocks, or they say that their strategy is for, you know, 3, 5, 10 years plus, and so me looking over the last year might not be that accurate to their actual plans. But nonetheless, I thought it would be interesting, and so let's get right into it. So the first one we have at the top here is Effie, Financial Education. This is probably one of the most popular YouTube channels out there, not to be confused with Jeremy's second channel, Financial Education 2. Honestly, if he had Financial Education 7, I'd probably still sign up. He's a really entertaining guy. Financial Education 8, I would draw the line there. You know, I kind of leave that for The Rock. You know, too many sequels. You got to have at least solid bronze. So now the next one is Cooper Academy. Cooper Academy is a nice channel as well. Seems really like a nice guy. Pretty good with describing stocks, and has nice little animation skills, or programming anyways. And yeah, he has a little bit of a beef with people who don't put like 100% effort into YouTube or something, but anyways, you know, everybody's entitled to their opinion. I still like the guy. He's great videos. And then after that we have Nate O'Brien from the Nate O'Brien channel. Again, very good at describing stocks. He goes into a few other categories, I think, like finance and stuff. And then we have Marco from WhiteBoard Investments. He talks a little bit about real estate, and he describes stocks really well. I like his channel as well for that, when he does describe stocks. And then I've added in kind of a bonus one at the bottom, and it's Invest with Sven, Carlin, Ph.D. So Sven from that channel. He doesn't really do these 3 stocks, from my understanding, like from what I've looked. He doesn't have as many kind of 3 stock videos like this, but I've added him in this because he did have a stock to watch for March 2018. And I find his in-depth kind of risk analysis of companies very interesting. So yeah, you feel free to check out any of these different YouTubers if you want. But let's get right into it. So the first, Financial Education, his stock picks were AMC, Wynn Resorts, and Ella, something like that, AMBA. And Cooper Academy's picks were Apple, Gilead, Micron Technologies. Nate O'Brien's picks were Constellation Brands, WCN, which is Waste Collection, and Eli. So if you ever watch Financial Education, you know what the Eli stock is. It's Callaway Golf. And then finally, we have Marco from WhiteBoard Investments, and he did picks for CVS, Las Vegas Sands, and McDonald's. And then Sven, which was our bonus, and he had picked Nokia. So how do they go? So this is going to be spread out basically picks for 1 week, then 1 month from the beginning of March, and then 3 months, 6 months, and then finally 1 year from basically right now, so just before March, but kind of when everybody posts their videos about these things. So if we go right away, they're already organized to the first week. You can see financial education. Jeremy's picks were up 10.6% after the first week from March. And I've actually noticed there's a bit of a trend here. So I don't know if this is a trader's pattern secret, but after Jeremy announces his stocks, there's been more than one time anyways that they've jumped up quite a bit right at the beginning. If you look at his January picks, they did really well for 2018. He really knocked it out of the park. But yeah, 10.6%. So, you know, if you're just a trade, like a swing trader, maybe you can cash in on that Jeremy effect. But anyways, you should always research your stocks. I'm not saying you should do that. But and then Cooper Academy, he was at 7.4. Then they become kind of more consistent 3s, and then Sven was down 2.1 with the Nokia stock. So interesting start. And then there was kind of a correction in the market after a month. So I think what we saw here is a big shift. Everybody kind of went down for the most part. Nate O'Brien, though, he barely went down. And so his stock picks, he went back to, he was #1 after the first month. And then if we move along to 3 months, 3 months we have, oops. Now, if you haven't noticed, these props, I've put a lot of money into this. So this is kind of top of the line. This almost cost me as much as my hoodie from the Cayman Islands. So anyways, so after 3 months, Nate, his investment went up to 12.6%. So that's pretty good. And everybody was positive by then. Financial education, still doing good, 8.6%. Sven was back in the positive, so very interesting. And then if you go to 6 months, quite a big change. Now, Nate, his investments, all the way up to like 19.2. That's pretty good. I mean, that's probably better. That was better than the S&P. I think the S&P at that time was about 8.2% from the beginning of March. So after half a year. So there you go. That's pretty good. And then unfortunately, Jeremy from Financial Education, he went down to 1.3%. Now his picks, they are just watches, he said. So, and a lot of people said they're, you know, probably not the best stocks. So not too surprising, but just interesting to know. And then, yeah, and then finally the big reveal. So there we are. At the end, this is kind of up to now. Right now is stock prices. So about a year from when they mentioned these stocks. The interesting thing was Sven, he had this kind of interesting theory on Nokia, and lo and behold, because of the stock crash in December, a lot of the other investors, their choices went down and they didn't have very good returns, but Sven's Nokia was the one who shot up actually, and now it's at like 6.9%. So very interesting. I don't know if this kind of is helpful or not, but I thought this would be kind of an interesting discussion. I'm sure people have done this kind of analysis on their own, but I didn't know if it's, haven't seen anything on YouTube, so I thought I'd post this. And you know, why not have one person or a few, you know, just few individuals doing it, and then letting the rest of the people just kind of benefit from their calculations. So yeah, let me know if you thought this video was interesting, or if you want more of this. And also, if you want different YouTubers or more YouTubers in this, I'd love to know your opinion. Feel free to write in the comments below. And a side note, the best stock actually from all these picks was Nate's. It was the Waste Collection Company, so WCN. They were up over 20% to date. So Very interesting picks, very interesting thoughts. Feel free to let me know what you think. And remember, this channel, I try and put a lot of videos out all the time, but the main thing is this channel, I'm trying to just improve the way I present things or the way I think about things, and also have a record of how I invest, or at least my thinking of how I invest. And then I also want to just talk about stocks, and that's kind of what I do. I mean, that's kind of what I like to do. I'm a physicist, so I'm not actually a stock person. But anyways, if you feel free to subscribe or click the like. Anyways, running on a little bit, so thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.